beautiful goddesses. It is Sarah Keats with the Green Goddess. Today, I want to talk to you about shea butter. Okay, you've probably heard of shea butter. It is a very popular ingredient in the beauty industry. Did you know that it's actually really popular in the food industry? It is gaining a lot of popularity because of another reason I won't get into so much today, but it has to do with the cocoa butter industry not faring so well. And so shea is kind of stepping in to take over. But anyways, going back to my industry, the beauty industry, shea is in so many products and you're probably familiar with it. What you might not be familiar with, though, sadly, is that if you are not careful where you are purchasing your shea from, who you are purchasing it from, or whoever you're buying that shea through, that sources their shea from somewhere in Africa, you may inadvertently be supporting a cause that you're not comfortable with, and that is slave labor. It's a very sad thing, and it is something that came on my radar about 5 years ago when I started digging into the shea industry a little bit more, realizing that if you're not very, very conscious of the way that you are sourcing your shea, you may very well be, sadly, really contributing to the perpetual cycle of poverty that these beautiful women in Africa get trapped in. These women oftentimes do not have enough money to feed their family more than one meal a day. If their kids are in school, and that's a big if, they are probably going to school hungry. Chances are they might not even be in school because the women cannot afford the tuition to get their kids in school. There are malnutrition rates and no proper medical facilities and so on and so on. And from one woman to another, I don't think that we want to be a part of that. And what you also may not realize is that as women, we have so much consumer power. And this is something that I would love to really drive into your head, is that you have the power to make change more than you think so. So you don't have to be concerned about constantly looking for, it needs to be, the Green Goddess told me I have to search for natural and non-toxic and organic and ethical, and it's all too much, and it is really challenging. But the good thing is that if you find a company that you can put your trust in, like I would hope you can with the Green Goddess, because I've done all this work for you. I've done this work for you on your behalf. When I learned that statistic about the shea industry and how it can really be used for the good or the demise of the women in Africa, I was fully committed. There is no way on earth that my company is going to buy shea butter without really securing it from a company, a grassroots organization who is on site in Africa and who is guaranteeing me that the women are being fairly paid for their backbreaking labor to harvest and produce this shea. It's a huge task, from collecting of the kernels, because it comes from the shea tree, the carite tree. When the kernels are ripe, they fall to the ground, the women gather them, and of course they have to sift through the good ones, the bad ones, and then there's this huge process to get it to this state of it being shea butter. So they work darn hard, and they deserve to be able to feed their families at the end of the day. And I know that if you are following me as a Green Goddess, that this is important to you as well. So the next time you purchase a product that has shea butter in it, I double dog dare you to ask that company, where are you getting your shea from, and do you know, and can you guarantee me that it has been sourced in an ethical way? Okay, so that's the first question I want you to ask with shea. The second thing I'd like you to think about with shea is that once the shea butter is created, once it's processed and it's in this state, this buttery ball of goodness, it can stay that way, or it can be sent on for further refining. And what do I mean by that? So in my industry, there are two types of shea typically that you can buy. Unrefined, which is sometimes also considered crude shea, And then there is refined shea, which is sometimes called white shea. So how do you get shea butter, which is naturally ivory colored, sometimes streaks of gray in it, buttery looking, and it has an earthy aroma to it, sometimes even smoky. So it is, this one that I have here is very earthy and it's natural. There's different colors swirling through it. So what happens if you are a manufacturer like myself and you don't want that shea butter to smell smoky? You don't want it to smell earthy. You want a blank canvas. Maybe even the final end result or color of your product that you're trying to make, you want it to be pure white. Well, what you would do then is you would purchase refined shea. So how do you get refined shea? Well, you get it by doing crazy things to it. You have to heat it at a very high temperature to strip the aroma and the color out. And often, more times than not, I believe, crazy chemicals like hexane are used to strip that aroma out of the shea butter and to strip that color out of the shea. So in that process of refining, we're adding crazy chemicals in and we're heating the shea to such an incredibly high temperature that many of the amazing qualities and properties that we want to pay for to get out of that shea butter disappear. Some estimates say up to 75% of the vitamins and the fatty acids and all the good stuff that's in shea just goes away when you heat it to that extreme of a temperature and you use crazy chemicals like hexane. So here at the Green Goddess, my checklist for my shea butter is it better damn well be ethical, check. It preferably should be organic. I like things that are certified organic. It's not always the be all end all. If I can guarantee that it's been produced in a natural way without pesticides, fine. But this shea butter that I use is organic, so check. The other checkbox that I'm looking for is that it's unrefined and it is in its closest state as nature intended it. Check. Okay. So on that note, I want to show you this. Let's get a close up. Okay, ready? Have a looky-loo. So that is our shea butter. Isn't it beautiful? So this is what it looks like when it comes to me. You can see here like a little bit of a white patch. And another thing is when I melt this shea butter to make my body butter, often, more times than not, at the bottom of the pot, once I've melted it, there's fragment or shells or little bits. And for a lot of people, I know that would turn them off. But for me, it turns me on because I know I'm like, I can almost connect with women in Africa. They're not these perfect robotic machines that can get every single little fragment out. So who cares if there's 10 little bits of something in the bottom of that pot? I strain it out and that's how you get your body butter. If you don't like the sound of that, then you need to be supporting a company who buys refined shea butter when it's like sterilized beyond anything, right? But that's not the way that I roll. This is what our body butter looks like after we take it, melt it, whip it with other cold pressed and organic oils like pumpkin and perilla and jojoba and olive oil. So then it becomes this like light and creamy and fluffy whipped cream almost. It's fantastic. So anyways, that is a little bit about shea. I think that's everything that I wanted to cover. If you have any questions about shea, I'd love to hear about it. Please feel free to comment below. Also check out some blog posts that I've done recently. I just started blogging, so head on over to www.iamthegreengoddess.com and sign up for our email newsletter. Every time that I do a blog post, I'm going to send out an email to you guys and say, blog post ready. And I plan to dive quite heavily into shea, why it's so good. Specifically, we'll get into more details of why it's so good for your skin. And yeah, I'm just going to like go crazy in the blogging world because I just feel like suddenly I have so much info that I want to share with you guys. Also with this YouTube video, please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and feel free to share it with a friend. If you have somebody who is in your life, a girlfriend who might find this information valuable, I sure would love it if you sent her my way. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I plan to do many more videos like this, some recipes and tutorials and all of that good stuff. That's it. That's everything, goddesses, for today. I want to send my major gratitude to you for all of your support and for watching this video. I love you very much. I'm sending you loads of summer blessings, and get outside and enjoy all that greenery. It's raining quite a bit here where I live in the northern hemisphere, but we won't talk about that. For now, we will leave it at that, and I'll see you next time. Okay, sending lots of love, guys. Bye.